All right, good evening, everybody. This is the Fantasy Sports Boss with another podcast for you to wrap up, discuss fantasy football week 17, which of course is the fantasy football championship for a majority of leagues this year. And hopefully, you guys had T. Higgins, Baker Mayfield, somebody who had a huge day today. I know myself, I didn't have such luck, and wanted to share with you some thoughts and some things that are percolating in my brain as I look to put this very frustrating season behind me. And frustration is certainly the word for me, yours truly. And I have to be honest with you, after having the number one seed and having a first round bye in all three of my leagues, to come away with nothing is just unacceptable to me. And extremely frustrating. I'm annoyed, and I for sure am questioning my draft strategy this season because I just was not competitive at all in the postseason, which is amazing to me because, like I said, I felt the regular season. I had one of the best regular seasons I thought in a very long time. Like I said, I got the first round bye in all three of my leagues. Finished number one in two of the three. I finished second in the other one. So I got regular season prize money, $150 each in two of my three leagues. Sat back the first round of the playoffs and watched everybody else do their thing. And unfortunately for me, I'm coming away with nothing. I absolutely had my doors blown off in two games a couple of weeks ago. And then today, just non-competitive, getting destroyed by Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans, and just like having nothing other than Malik Neighbors go right for me in the one remaining league I had. And so, yeah, coming away with nothing this year. You know, I was the two-time defending champ in my friends and family league. My two work leagues just, came up short again. And, like I said, I'm starting for this year. My strategy has always been draft wide receiver early, wide receiver first round, wide receiver second round, then go to the more volatile running backs later on. And that strategy has really worked well for me over the years. Right? It's given me championships each of the last 2 years. Multiple runner-up finishes. In my friends and family league, I've won it 5 times in 20 years, which is my longest running league. It's the most titles in that league. And I've always been fairly consistent with my strategy. I've nailed the quarterback position in the third, fourth, or fifth round, for quite a while. And actually this year I'm pretty happy with all of my quarterback picks. I got unlucky with Jalen Hurts. But my wide receiver heavy approach, I'm starting to wonder and, call it raw emotion fresh off of just a frustrating season. But the key this year was the running back position. I wrote a rough list of winning players who are going to appear on the most winning, not talking about T. Higgins, he had a huge game, obviously. But guys that to me were the value plays that came through, or the veteran players who slipped a little bit and people that recognized the slippage took advantage of it, those were the winning players. And to me, and this is just a quick list I put together before I came on here, the running back position had the most players by far. And I faded these guys. Every guy on this list that I'm going to share with you, other than Josh Jacobs, because I double dipped on him, I didn't own any of them. I drafted CeeDee Lamb in the first round in 2 of my leagues, and when Dak Prescott goes down for the season, I was pretty much screwed in both of those leagues. So I did get to the final with one league with CeeDee Lamb on it. But in my other league, I drafted Amon-Ra St. Brown in the first round, 4th overall pick. Very solid pick. He played well, but didn't exactly hit those numbers that we thought he was going to from a raw reception standpoint. Now, the winning quarterbacks, the 4 that stood out the most, obviously Josh Allen, the number 1 quarterback, and Lamar Jackson. Now, for me, there was some question about how much, and Jackson wasn't really great last year because he had a lot of touchdowns siphoned away from him by Gus Edwards, and I thought it was going to only be exacerbated with Derrick Henry there. but it worked for both of those guys. And so Jackson is an MVP, fantasy MVP player. Baker Mayfield, just fresh off of torching me today for 5 passing touchdowns. Baker Mayfield was fucking unbelievable. And Joe Burrow, I did tell you Joe Burrow, QB7, that was the guy to take. Now, I drafted Jalen Hurts in one league. He was phenomenal. I just got unlucky. He had a concussion last week. Took Patrick Mahomes in the other. Wound up trading him in a deal for Cooper Kupp and Jordan Love. It did not work out. And in my other league, drafted Jaden Daniels. Great. Really worked out. So quarterback position, trading Mahomes, who finished strong after a really, really quiet first part of the season, I thought, fine. I feel like I've nailed that position over the years. So I'm not worried about my quarterback. And I only play one quarterback leagues. But the wide receivers, Mike Evans. Love Mike Evans the last couple of years. Didn't get him this year. Had him last year in a winning league. The guy is unbelievable. He is unbelievable. He doesn't show any signs of slippage. He is a game breaker extraordinaire. Justin Jefferson. I faded him. Sam Darnold at quarterback? No, I don't want any part of that. Well, he's quarterback proof. And then Brian Thomas Jr. I did draft him in one league. And he was phenomenal. Got me to the finals. All right? Had a big game today. Other than Malik Neighbors, those are the only guys that even showed up for me this week. Brian Thomas Jr. was unreal, and he's going to be on a lot of winning teams. At tight end, we talked about Brock Bowers. He was arguably the single biggest value play. He's going to set the record for receptions by a rookie. Blew away the field at tight end outside of Trey McBride, who was the other value play. Now, I double dipped on Trey McBride, had him in 2 leagues. But Brock Bowers, who was drafted in the 8th round in most leagues, was a league-winning play. Probably the value play of the year. But at running back, all of these guys that I'm going to share with you right now were league-winning picks. James Cook, 4th-round pick. Derrick Henry, early 2nd-round pick. He's not done yet. Jahmyr Gibbs, right on that turn there, 1st, 2nd. Devin Achane, I faded him. Was worried about him staying healthy. He's been unbelievable. Chuba Hubbard. Right, he got hurt at the wrong time, right? Missed the finals. But he was incredible all year. James Conner, longtime favorite of mine. Always a value. He too got hurt at the end. All right? David Montgomery didn't make the end of the season as well. Touchdown monster. And Josh Jacobs, who fumbled today, of course. He's been incredible for 2 of my teams. With Saquon Barkley doing what he's doing at 26. With Derrick Henry doing what he's doing at 30. James Cook coming out of, really stepping forward this year in the 4th round. The running backs carried the day this year. This season this year in fantasy. It was the running backs who had the most value. And that's why I don't have any championships this year. Because I did not go heavy on running backs early. And the only one I got here was Jacobs. Because I got him in the 3rd round in both leagues that I had him. I did not have any of those other guys in any of my leagues. I had Aaron Jones in 2 leagues. Solid. But not enough touchdowns. Isaiah Pacheco, injured most of the year. Rico Dowdle, okay, but not enough touchdowns. Not enough receptions. Javonte Williams, trash. I really went to town on Jacobs and Jones. And like I said, Aaron Jones has been really solid. He's doing it again today. He's got a couple of receptions already today, 6 carries for 30 yards, but he doesn't score touchdowns. They throw the ball in the red zone. Happy with my quarterback drafting. Happy with my tight end drafting. I also picked up Jonnu Smith in 2 leagues, so I had McBride and Jonnu Smith. Fine. Great. Drafted Evan Ingram in another league. That obviously did not work out. My wide receivers, not happy. I took CeeDee Lamb in 2 leagues. As soon as Prescott went down, it was over. And here's the thing. Justin Jefferson's proven himself to be quarterback proof. Garrett Wilson. Malik Neighbors, although he went off today. Drake London, Kirk Cousins struggles. These guys couldn't overcome their poor quarterback play or injuries. Watching Malik Neighbors this year was like watching Garrett Wilson last year with Zach Wilson. He's so talented, but just couldn't overcome the horrid play of the quarterback. And once Prescott went down, CeeDee Lamb's value was sunk. I triple dipped. My ride or die, Drake London. Started out really good. But once Kirk Cousins started shitting the bed 3/4 of the way through the season, it was over. Drake London, 3 teams, he helped sink my teams as well. DK Metcalf, garbage. Absolute garbage, DK Metcalf. Garrett Wilson took a firm backseat to Devontae Adams. I really thought he was going to go crazy. Amon-Ra St. Brown, good. Very good. Cooper Kupp, trash at the end of the season. Nico Collins, let down at the end of the season, and he got hurt. These were all my wide receivers. It did not work out. So, I don't know where I'm going to go from here in terms of next season. Just a horrendous way for me to finish the season, okay? It simply was, all right? I just couldn't get anything going, could not salvage my season, could not salvage anything this year, and I'm going home with nothing, all right? So that's how it goes. Now, I'm going to be doing a lot more on this. I'm going to do, the all value team. I'm going to do all that stuff coming up the next couple of days. And it's going to be a lot of podcasts going forward now. Obviously, the season's over. Now, I don't do anything for next week. You shouldn't have a fantasy league that goes next week. That's just ridiculous. All right, that's nonsense. Absolute nonsense if you have a league that goes to next week. I'm also going to be working on something this off season that I think this has interested me in a long time. I've obviously done a lot of stuff with the draft for years. I've always wanted to delve in on the quarterback draft bust. All right, the history of it. Why guys that went bust? Why did Christian Ponder not work out? Why did Akili Smith not work out? Why did Tim Couch not work out? I want to go through all of this and have like a series about that. Okay? So that's going to be one of the subjects I tackle during the off season, in addition to whatever free agency and trades and things of that nature in the draft. But like I said to you before, I'm going to be doing some more mainstream stuff as well. All right, we could discuss college football championship, right? Anything that's going on, sporting world, certainly the NCAA tournament, I always do something on that. So I'm going to be delving into that stuff a little bit more as we go on. So I think that's something that hopefully you guys are interested in, and that would be a subject that we can tackle together. All right. So anyway, that's just my knee-jerk, fresh reaction to going 0-3 this year. All right. Again, no championships from yours truly. Like I said, very, very frustrating season. Nothing went right. Just chalk it up to one of those years. All right. That's just how it's going to go. And hopefully you guys had a better result. You could post in the comments. I'd like to hear how you guys did, if any of you guys won. Hopefully I led you to the position to get to the finals. And it certainly I didn't come through with the typical guys that I thought would help all of us win a championship this year. But hopefully it was a good one for you, and it certainly wasn't a good one for me. But anyway, so I'm going to pop off now as I sit here and I still look at Aaron Jones at 4.6 points and Josh Jacobs with 1.10. Unbelievable. And Sam Darnold throws another touchdown. And on top of it all, my fucking New York Giants win today. Put up over 40 points and knock off the Indianapolis Colts, so the Giants can't even lose right. They can't even lose right. I mean, being a Giants fan is like banging your head against. Now, I know we've won a couple, Super Bowls, Eli Manning, all that, but that is now feels like a long time ago. And they win today against the Indianapolis Colts, who, granted, knew they were probably done when the Chargers won yesterday, but absolutely laid down awful effort defensively against the New York Giants to give up over 40 points to the Giants and Drew Lock. None of them should get paid on defense. They should take the bus home. Make them walk, actually. Make them walk home. Just an absolute disgrace. So now the Giants going to seed the number 1 pick. I don't know who's in it now, who's got the top spot, but what a disgrace. An unbelievable turn of events for a Giant fan to have to witness that today. So anyway, let me know what you think. Post in the comments below. We'll be posting something again tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Have a good night, everybody.